To Equal Entertainment, I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist. Jane Fonda says there would be no climate crisis if there was no racism. Fonda says white men in positions of power and influence bear a significant responsibility for the climate crisis. She also believes that those most impacted by climate change are, in the global south, people on islands and poor people of color. Fonda oversees the Jane Fonda Climate PAC. It's time to re-enter the Spider-Verse. Fans can get ready for the action with the newly released soundtrack. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the sequel to the award-winning animated superhero film. The soundtrack is produced by Metro Boomin. For the announcement, everyone on the soundtrack got an illustrated comic book caricature featuring Lil Uzi Vert, Nas, Lil Wayne, A$AP Rocky, 21 Savage, Offset, 2 Chainz, Sway Lee, A Boogie with the Hoodie, and more. Spider-Man swings into theaters June 2nd. For the sequel, Miles Morales, a half-Black and half-Latino teenager, assumes the role of Spider-Man. Season 6 of Black Mirror is now just around the corner. It's being called the most unpredictable, unclassifiable, and unexpected season yet. Netflix has released these images previewing the upcoming season. This season includes the likes of Aaron Paul, Kate Mara, and Salma Hayek. All 5 episodes of Black Mirror Season 6 begin streaming June 15th on Netflix. Fans can't get enough of the Netflix reality show The Ultimatum Queer Love. 5 couples, comprised of women and non-binary people, come together for 8 weeks to decide if they want to either marry, part ways, or choose new partners. I spoke with series host JoAnna Garcia Swisher about love beyond gender and race. And I just want to begin by asking you how you got involved with The Ultimatum and what about it drew you to it.
Well, I got a call from Netflix asking me to be a part of the show, and I immediately thought to myself, this is something new for me. I've never hosted a show before, but if there ever were to be a show that I would want to be a part of and along for the journey and helping to, kind of navigate these waters, it would be something that would celebrate, these incredible queer love stories. I thought that these are important stories to tell, and I was so excited and I was honored and I was humbled and I just jumped right in. And it really was one of the best experiences that I've ever had.
Incredible. Well, would you chat a little bit about what it was like to be in on this show and to, I can't imagine that this wasn't an emotional journey for everyone. To me, I read the premise and I'm like, I could never do it.
I know, right? I felt that so much. And especially kind of as as the host, you're sort of there to kind of deliver what the next step, the next phase was. And so I kept showing up and saying, okay, we're here now, and now here's where we're headed. Mm-hmm. And then sort of giving them an opportunity to go really experience these moments and experience the trial marriages and what all of that brought up, and then kind of coming back in and knowing a little bit of what happened. I think coming out of the trial marriages was probably the biggest, my biggest, most anxious moment. I actually take that back. Every big pivot was big for me when it was their last night as a couple. And then coming out of the trial marriages, even though they were going to be reunited as couples, so much had happened in those weeks that I just had this feeling where I was nervous. I was nervous for all of them. And I knew how some of them were already feeling heartache, and some of them were already feeling really insecure, and some of them were already feeling what this separation, the fractures of that, and the ramifications of that. And my hope was that they would still lean into whatever it is that they were discovering. And if that meant leading them back together, which obviously I love, and I was rooting for all of their relationships, but I also saw that maybe it was an opportunity for them to realize that maybe this wasn't the right moment for them. So it really was an emotional journey, and I care so much about all of them. And I was really humbled by how willing they were to go there. All in.
Yeah, incredible. And was there a moment where you were watching maybe someone go through something difficult and you wanted to step in?
Ooh, yeah. I was, especially when Xander and Yoli were coming back from their trial marriage, and I knew Mal's heart was at stake. I knew the experience that she had with Lexi was incredible, important, life-changing, supportive, everything that you would actually really want in like a real marriage, but it wasn't that for them. The romantic side of it wasn't there. But I knew that Mal's partner, Yoli, was experiencing all of those things. And so for me, I just was waiting for that other shoe to drop, and I thought, oh. But it, inevitably needed to happen, and I think it was an important, obviously things happen for a reason, and just venturing down that road, but wanting to kind of hold her in my arms, like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be so hard.
I don't know if a host should be as emotionally invested, but I was, for better or for worse.
Yeah. I imagine that's really difficult. And there's this really kind of interesting inflection point with the series, because it's called The Ultimatum regarding marriage, and up until recently, queer women could not be married. But there's also this other side of women having agency to make the decision to not get married.
Absolutely.
So would you talk a little bit about what that was like?
I think that it's really, it goes back to, and I think about the advice that I would give if you're deciding whether you're going to enter into a relationship of that magnitude or that level of commitment or whatever that means, whatever that looks like for you, that your hope is that you're with a partner that it looks the same for them. And I think whether that's marriage for some people, that it feels like a little bit more traditional in that sense, or if it's, wanting lifelong partnership, or if it's not wanting that at all, whatever that looks like for you is valuable and important. And I think that sometimes we all get lost a little bit in the weeds of what it should be. I should be at this place in my life. I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And I think a show like this, or taking the time to actually check in with yourself, is so valuable and so important, and really being honest with yourself. And then if you're with that partner and that kind of looks the same, then that's the journey forward. That's the yes. That's the, overcoming that obstacle and getting to that place. But really, I think that taking it upon yourself to really look at what you want is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to yourself.
Episodes of The Ultimatum Queer Love are streaming now on Netflix. Singer-songwriter Sia says she has been diagnosed with autism. She made the revelation on an episode of Rob Has a Podcast. The artist said she's only known about her diagnosis for a few years. The 47-year-old is most well known for penning and performing mega hits like Chandelier and Titanium. She's almost as famous for using wigs, hats, or other props to cover her face, or refusing to face a camera or audience. There's a brand new name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Actor Ming-Na Wen is receiving a much-deserved star along Tinseltown's famous stretch. She's paved the way for AAPI actors. The honor comes at the end of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. She was joined by 3 Joy Luck Club co-stars at the ceremony. Among other credits over more than 3 decades, she's also known as the voice of the animated Mulan film. During the ceremony, she acknowledged the Hollywood writer's strike and called for more Asian talent along the Walk of Fame.
We need to just pave this Hollywood Boulevard with more Asian talents.
Ming-Na Wen currently stars as Fennec Shand on the Disney Plus shows The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett. Congratulations to Ming-Na Wen on the honor. She is truly a trailblazer. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Tracy E. Gilchrist, and that's what's happening in entertainment.